Back here on a Thursday morning, talking about the NBA playoffs. You guys see what happened in Game 2 last night. Russell Westbrook walking down the tunnel after the game at Wells Fargo Center when a fan poured a bucket of popcorn on him. Russ already upset after injuring his right ankle. Well, this set him off. Here he was after the loss about that moment.
To be blatantly honest, man, it's just getting out of hand, especially for me. Just the amount of disrespect, the amount of just fans just doing whatever they want to do. It's out of pocket, man. It's out of pocket, seriously. Like, any other setting, I'm all for the fans enjoying the game and having fun. And, it's part of sports. I get it. But there's certain things that cross the line. And any other setting, I know for a fact that fans and they wouldn't come up, and a guy wouldn't come on the street and pour popcorn on my head because he know what happened. A guy wouldn't come up to me and talk mess about my kids or family on the street because the response would be different. In these arenas, you got to start protecting the players, man. We'll see what the NBA does, but there's a huge consequence for us as players, and especially for me. I've been in a lot of incidents where fans they say whatever, and the consequences for me are a lot more detrimental than to those people in the stands because they feel like they're untouchable. They can say what they want. They're at a sporting event where they should enjoy the game. But a lot of times fans don't realize this is our job. This is my job. This is not some play. This is something I love to do. This is something I love competing at. So to get food thrown on top of me, it's just. And if unfortunately, I couldn't get to the stands, but I just don't take that lightly, man.
So LeBron was watching, chimed in with this. By the way, we as the players want to see who threw that popcorn on Russ while he was leaving the game tonight with an injury. There's cameras all over the arena, so there's no excuse as if the shoe was on the other foot. A Wells Fargo Center issued a stern warning to fans for any conduct like this moving forward. Brandon, I'll start with you. What do you make of everything that happened here after the game last night?
Yeah, I'm with LeBron on this. Enough's enough. Like, this is ridiculous. And this is what, the second, third time this happened to Russell Westbrook. This is unbelievable. We need the NFL, the NBA, the WNBA, the NHL to do something. And we don't want a statement. This is ridiculous. If this happened on the street, like Russ said, it would be a different outcome. And you keep putting these players in a box, telling these players, oh, sit over here. You get paid a lot of money. These fans are paying a hefty amount for a ticket to come watch you play basketball, to watch you kick a ball, to shoot a ball, whatever. And you need to sit here and take it. No, protect your players. It's not only just throwing things on people, which is assault. You go back to college football, you got guys throwing beer bottles at players. Enough's enough. Treat them like you would treat them in the street. If you're walking down the street, okay, and you hear two people yelling and screaming at each other, someone's going to stop. You know how many times I've been sitting on the sideline hearing a fan sitting right there on the 40 or the 50 just screaming and cursing, talking about players, mothers, wives, children. It's unbelievable. I had a fan sit behind, our bench one time playing in Baltimore, and I love Baltimore. You guys are actually good people. There's this one guy in particular. He's sitting behind the bench. He had a list of players' families' names. And he just went one by one, just dog cursing them. And the security guard just sat there. The police officers on duty just sat there. They didn't do anything. The team officials didn't do anything. It's time for the leagues to stand up and do something about this because we're going to have another incident. What we're going to have, what was it called? The melee? What was it called,
Malice
Nick?
at the Palace.
When you had Meta World Peace?
The Palace. Yeah, Malice at the Palace.
Like,
so
here's the thing
about that, Brandon. All right. My job's to be honest. I'm just going to be honest. Fans have lost any fear of a Malice at the Palace, and so they've gotten out of hand. The reason this happens is because fans have convinced themselves they are in an impenetrable bubble, and I can pour popcorn on Russell Westbrook's head, and he is literally going to be held back by 5 people. Now, it would have been bad for Russ and it would have been bad in theory for the NBA had Russ gone up there and punched that guy in the face. But it actually would have kind of solved the problem. Because the only reason people do this, they think they are tapping the glass at the zoo. And these are caged animals who can't hurt you. First of all, it is obviously disrespectful. It's hugely problematic to treat athletes like they're animals. But one of the reasons people tap the glass is because it's so thick, you know, the lion can't break through. If once a year it's like, oh man, lion broke through that glass again, people wouldn't tap it anymore. And so here's the thing, Brandon. You are allowed to do so much at a sporting event that you can't do on the street. You are literally allowed to chant, bleep Trae Young. Or as they did last night, Trae Young is balding. You are allowed so much of a wide berth to act a fool as a fan because it is part of sports. There's really two things you can't do. Touch the players or throw something at the players, or say something about a player's family member or something that is, you know, racist or of that ilk. Everything else is allowed. And so, of course, the guy should be banned. Of course, the guy, if he has season tickets, should have him revoked. All of that's true. But what's also true is what Russ said, which is this happens because the fans, and I know it seems like a weird take, are a little too protected. Wilds, I sent you a video the other day from just 25 years ago of Vernon Maxwell. I think something was either said to him or thrown at him. He walked up in the stands, hit the guy, walked back down to the huddle, and the game moved on. It's a different time, it was a different era. But back just, 20-some years ago, there was a real fear that if I go out of line, I am going to be met with the same response I would be met with if I go out of line on the street. And that's been removed. I understand why that's been removed. But if the NBA stance is going to be, under no circumstances whatsoever can you ever go into the stands, then the NBA needs to do a better job of ensuring there are fewer instances where a player would have a reason to go into the stands.
Yeah, so I think that the NBA is going to take this incident very, very seriously. I think that Adam Silver knows the sort of the malice in the palace, let's say, is not in too far in the rear window of the league like it is in fans' memories. It hasn't taken on any sort of like comical quality. It's not funny. There's nothing about it. It is considered a stain on the league. Adam Silver also is known for, in his tenure as commissioner, Brandon, he has done an excellent job working with players. And when players talk, Adam Silver listens. So when Russ has spoken out multiple times about this, he spoke out after an incident in Utah. He spoke out after another incident in Philadelphia where a fan gave him the middle finger. And LeBron has now spoken out. And we can also see LeBron's power. And I do not think that the response to this is going to be, bad actor whack-a-mole. Take his tickets, take his tickets, take his tickets. I think the league is going to launch a study on antisocial behavior, maybe in association with the Players Association, and they're going to come up with some changes here because this has happened to Russ multiple times. So you can't just say, you know what? Oh, we got rid of this guy. Let's move on to the next game. Because there has to be behavioral changes in the league and not just continue to point the finger at one bad actor. There's going to be severe changes in the league so that to make sure that this stuff is totally deadened.
Right. Yeah, man, and my blood is over here boiling watching that and then having this conversation. Absolutely, we need to have this conversation, and we need to see policies change. I want to see what the policy is right now. What is the policy? You see fans fighting, and they continue to watch the game after the fight. Like, it's ridiculous what we allow in our stands. We not only have to look at that type of behavior, but we also, during this time, need to look at how we approach players, period. All right, like we force our players after moments like this to sit and have their press conferences when so much is going on, emotions are and tension is flaring and emotions are out of control. So we need to look at that visual that Nick rolled out as far as, you know, animals in a cage, animals at a zoo, and that thick glass and being able to knock on it because